Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 86 of Reaction Time Podcast. Today, well, actually, this month is Scary October month. I don't know a cool name for that,
It's
but
Reactober.
Reactober, sorry.
Come on, dude.
My bad, I didn't mean to.
I thought that you knew.
So we started with probably the scariest movie of all time, Joker 2. And then...
Yeah, dude. Wow, yes. Accurate.
Pretty much accurate.
Yeah.
And then today, we're going to be talking about the original, very first Paranormal Activity.
Yes, sir.
That Sam has never seen, had never seen.
Had never seen. And
So-
now I have.
Now he has. He has seen the $15,000 budget movie.
I am part
other
of
than the last
the zeitgeist.
5 minutes. that are
No,
like
I've seen the last 5 minutes
$200,000.
now. Or are you talking about $15,000?
No, $15,000 until the last 5 minutes. Then it was like $200,000.
Not even. It's like I
right?
think until the last 15 seconds. Which is interesting.
Which is very insane.
I will
So what
tell
are
you,
your
I did
thoughts?
not. Well, I didn't take any notes.
Okay.
I started to think
I only
about
have
it,
a few.
and then I was curled up in a ball in the dark the whole time. So, are we gonna go no spoilers?
I don't
We-
know. It's pretty old.
Yeah, we can do. Well, I'll do a quick. We'll do
Okay.
quick, no spoilers, just real quick.
Super quick, no spoilers.
I liked it.
Yeah.
Not perfect by any means.
No.
But for a $15,000
not good.
movie, I thought it was good. I thought they did the found footage well. There were obviously some horror movie tropes. Actually, this was just one long horror movie trope.
Yeah.
But cool idea and pretty well
Yeah.
executed. I would probably
Very well executed.
I'd probably give it a 7.9, but it's like a good 7.9. You know?
yeah.
So,
Yeah. I was going to give it an 8.2, so we're
Cool.
pretty dang close.
yeah. I mean, I would recommend it for if you want just kind of a quick, like, scary movie
Yeah.
for Halloween time. It's not going to keep you up at night, I don't think.
No.
But it's fun. It's a fun watch.
It's fun, and it's kind of like one of those cult classic movies that you just got to watch at
Yeah.
least once so you can get the experience.
I will say basically the reason this movie for me, who is a wimp, was was palatable. The reason that I could watch it without getting too scared is that there were scenes sometimes where it should have been way scarier, but the acting wasn't great. So it was like, okay, I'm
Yes.
watching a movie. This isn't real.
Yep.
So
Yep.
that was, I
Yep.
liked that for me. Now, as a movie
This-
critic, obviously that's not a positive, but as a viewer who gets scared easily, it was a positive. So take that how you will.
You're not going in seeing The Conjuring. This is not what's going to
No.
happen.
No,
You are
no.
seeing a movie that they only spend $15,000 on, and I bet the actors were probably like a writer or director.
Yeah. They were just doing it for fun, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say that the girlfriend, I think overall does better
Oh, I think so. Yeah.
than the boyfriend.
Yeah.
But even like the couple side characters they have in there, it's like,
It's like, is
you're
that your
not the
dad?
best.
Like, is
Yeah,
he doing
right,
you a
exactly.
favor? Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of depended on what was going on. When they were genuinely scared, I thought it was very good. But when it was like,
Yeah.
I don't like the way that this is feeling, or I don't like that you're doing this or this, it was like kind of cheesy acting. You
Yeah.
know? But not
But, like,
terrible.
her scream at the end
Yeah, dude.
is like a good scream.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't say that's super easy. Like, you kind of have to
No.
really from like your belly, you know,
Yeah.
just really let it all,
Yeah.
all out.
So I mean, yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a fun movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on Max
Not too shabby. Yeah.
currently. If if you do watch it and you like it, I would recommend at least the first and the third. The second one is good. There's like a connected story with all of them, but it's pretty minuscule. It's just like these little things that kind of tie it all together until like the fifth movie or something. But if you're going to keep watching it, stop at 3. Just stop at 3. That's the last good one. 4 has a cool concept, but it's super dumb. And then the 5th one, I barely finished. It was pretty bad.
That's so many.
And then I never saw the 6th one that they just randomly made after the 5th was supposed to be the last one.
Maybe we'll have to do a marathon.
I know, right? There's our next tournament, Paranormal Activity.
Paranormal Activity. Okay, well, I think that's it for non-spoilers, right?
Yeah.
Not much.
I mean, I don't really have anything else to say.
Okay. Well,
other than they did a good job.
Yeah. Well, we're going to spoil it now.
Yeah.
So if you're really super concerned, honestly, if you guess at what happens in this movie, you're probably right. So,
yeah.
Yeah, but anyway, I mean, if you're leaving, get out of here. We'll see you. We'll see you next week.
Next week.
And go subscribe.
Follow all our stuff. Yeah.
And if you're watching on YouTube, hit that like button, dog.
Hit the like button.
Just do it. It's free and it doesn't do anything except for maybe add us to your algorithm, and then you'll be even luckier. So I don't know.
Maybe it'll make 2 grown men cry.
Yeah.
You never know. So
yeah. It will.
First video to get 10 likes, we record ourselves crying.
Guaranteed.
Let's just watch us watching The Wild Robot.
Right. I'm just sobbing. All right.
Okay.
Let's spoil it.
Yeah, so visuals. I only have 2 notes.
Okay.
Because overall, the visuals, I love the placement of the camera in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, obviously I know the whole thing was set up, but it's like a really good setup. You've got the bed on the side where you can do all your cool stuff, and then you have this long hallway with like a bunch of doors that you can do a lot of cool stuff.
Yeah.
Without ever moving the camera.
Yeah, it's a clever layout.
Yeah.
For the movie.
And the stairs too. I mean, you can like basically see part of downstairs.
Yeah. It was very very interesting.
So I thought the main girl gets possessed and the thing brings her down and bites her. I thought the bite mark looked pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
Like, for the amount of budget that they had, like...
Oh, for sure.
Some good makeup.
I think that... Okay, so here's the deal, folks. This movie was made for $15,000, okay?
Yeah.
It was released at 2 different film festivals with 2 different endings, and then Paramount bought it and then added $200,000 like stuff to the end, right? Yeah. But overall, I mean, really, this is a $15,000 movie until literally probably the last 15 to 25 seconds, which still isn't
but really
anything
only like one shot.
Super crazy, yeah. And so I think that almost everything that they did visually, which really wasn't much, was really good. Because there were things that they were doing where I couldn't figure out how they were doing it. So the one thing, like the footsteps in the powdered sugar, or not the powdered sugar, the baby powder, I was like, how are they doing it without CGI? But maybe they just like knew how to do some kind of CGI, but like it looked really good. And I'm like, how are they doing it? Maybe it was, it's possible that they did it in stop motion. Because you could just do, because it's a still frame camera.
Yeah.
You could just kind of like, honestly, actually, now that I think about it, that's probably what it was. It's just an image.
That's probably what it was.
And then they put, a footprint, another image, and then another footprint and an image. So maybe that's what it was.
That's true. I didn't even think about that.
But when the sheets move, because I'm like, oh, it's a fan or something, but it moves so specifically.
Yeah.
Like it moves like almost somebody's crawling up into it. And I'm like, how are you doing that?
How do they do that? Yeah.
And I don't know.
Because it's almost like a fan It's almost like when you like, do like the sheet thing
Yeah.
to like put the sheet over the whole bed, but it's only like a little part, but you don't see it. It's not like it lifts up and goes down. It just starts blowing underneath, and it's so cool.
It's so cool.
And I don't know how they did it.
And then there's just different things when she gets dragged out of bed, when she gets dragged away. And like that is, I would say, most of the VFX shots, however they did them. But that's like most of it. Then the rest of it, honestly, this is a very, in a lot of ways, I feel like this is very similar to the Blair Witch Project. And real quick, I'm going to spoil the Blair Witch Project. So I'm going to give you 5 seconds to hit the skip button. 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so just real quick, Blair Witch Project, you never see what's scary. You don't even know if it exists, right? And I feel like this movie is very similar to that. Although you do end up finally like actually seeing it interact with them, but you never see it. Right? You see a shadow, you see footprints, but you never like see the thing.
Yeah.
So, which I thought was cool because I kept expecting to actually see something and you never do, but it's almost scarier that way.
Yeah, I'm glad they didn't.
Yeah.
Because I think there are a lot of times, and this kind of goes back to one of my dislikes about The Barbarian. Until you see the monster, it is pretty terrifying. And then as soon as you see it, it's like, okay, movie's over.
Yeah.
So, and obviously that's people's preference. Some people are more into certain things than others. But to me, a lot of the time, I like when you don't see a ton of it when it's a scary movie, because it's very hard to not just divide your fan base, know? Like, for instance, Longlegs, that I really wanted to see, they hyped up Nicolas Cage, and then, like, scrolling through TikTok, somebody was like, oh, here's what he looks like. And I was like, oh, okay. I mean, that's not really scary, you know?
Yeah.
But they had, like, hyped it up to be, like, the freakiest thing, and you're like, oh, my gosh, it's going to be amazing, And I never saw it, so I still can't say if it was good or not. But just when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, like, it doesn't look that scary, to where it's like you would be freaking the freak out.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I didn't see it with his acting, so it could be much scarier because Nicolas Cage is good at acting. But it's kind of that thing where it's that fine line of like, do you show, do you not show? If you have the budget and the person for it, I think it's a good idea. But if you don't, it's almost better to just not show it.
Yeah.
Because
Agreed.
they couldn't have done anything that would have looked good enough for $15,000.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that's true. Because I wonder what the Blair Witch Project cost. That could have had to have cost $60 to make. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I think
there's
that's another one.
there's
that's,
nothing
like,
in that
super
movie.
low.
It's just people in the woods with a camera.
Yeah.
So it's got to be cheap. I would almost say, unless they paid people a lot of money, it's got to be cheaper.
$60,000.
Yeah, so they just probably paid actors and stuff.
It said the final cost was $200 to $750 at the very end.
That's probably with marketing and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but overall, I thought the visuals were tackled very well.
yeah.
And I'm trying to think. I think there's one part where maybe she's getting pulled out of the bed or pulled away. That was, well, no, I don't think it was bad.
No, that all looked pretty good.
Yeah.
The Ouija board, I don't know if you thought this. It was cool that it moved on its own, but it was very telling that it was just like a magnet or something that was
right.
It didn't move very gracefully. It was like very,
yeah,
weirdly moving. And I mean, that's fine. It's a small budget. It's not like the end of the world. But I wanted it to just kind of like nicely, smoothly move, like somebody's holding it. It didn't look like that. It looked like somebody trying to control it from underneath, which is what I'm sure they did or something like that. So that's my only negative was the Ouija board looked a little weird.
Yeah. I didn't mind because I think you can go either way where it's like, oh, it moved too smoothly, or
True.
it was too choppy. So for me, that's kind of a wash where I didn't think about that at all. I didn't really care like how it was moving, but I could see it either way. So honestly, I mean, they did pretty good.
They did really good. I mean, props to them for the budget, what they were going for.
Yeah.
I know it's a low resolution, but it really doesn't look bad at all.
Yeah. What would you give it?
It's hard because this kind of goes back to some of our other movies. For what they were going for, I don't think there was anything bad.
Mm-hmm.
The face at the very end was a little typical trope face.
Yeah.
So I honestly like a 197. I mean, honestly, they did great.
Yeah. I'm actually going to give it a 199.
Nice.
For kind of just the same reason. I think, I just think with a budget that small and just kind of like making a movie, I'm not on a whim, although maybe, I just feel like they were really clever with how they did everything and like how they set up the camera and how they set up, it was smart to, have the camera set up stationary too, because then you can have the it's not even found footage anymore. It's just the footage that they made for this purpose.
Yeah,
but anyway,
exactly.
The found footage without it being too shaky or too edited or anything. It's just like it's there. It's stationary. Obviously, there's other stuff too, but yeah, I think everything, and I think they did a good job making things scary with the camera, like just having the light and all that. So yeah.
The one thing that I wanted to ask you, the 2 times that she stands by the bed, how long do you think she actually stood there?
Not super long, because I was actually thinking about that. And this is maybe one small detractor for me, because when it goes through the night, it eclipses like 6 hours or something, right? In this,
is it that long? I think I thought it was
well,
more
not
like
when
a
she's
couple.
standing, just for the full night, right? So when when it's doing the full night, it eclipses 6 hours in the span of maybe like 10 seconds or less.
Yeah.
And you see them like rolling over and stuff, and I'm just like picturing time lapses in my head, and I'm like, they're rolling too slowly for how fast this is sped up. Does that make sense, right? So when she's standing there for 2 hours, she's probably standing there for probably a couple minutes, maybe 5-10 minutes. Honestly, they probably had her stand there.
You think only that amount? I was wondering if it was more of like a good half hour that she just kind of stood and then it just seems like she.
I don't think so, because if it's a half hour, because I think both times she stands for 2 hours, right? Give or
like
take.
2 or 3 hours.
And so if she's standing there for half an hour, you're only speeding it up 4 times.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe that's what it was. I don't know.
Yeah.
And again, it's not something I don't think that takes away from it.
No.
Necessarily, but it's like you're also not going to make your
though.
actor stand there for 2 hours.
No. But it almost at sometimes felt like they did.
Yeah. Like they were really committed, so they just did it anyway.
Like they were really committed. Yeah, like stand there for 2 hours and we'll
Yeah.
record you, or we're going to record you guys sleeping for a couple nights.
And
or
I
something.
loved those two. It's a little bit more of a story thing, but I loved when she just stood there and there's no payoff. You like think something's going to happen, but she just stands there forever, and then I think she just gets back in bed.
One time she gets back in bed, and the other time she goes downstairs and goes on the swing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, outside.
Yeah.
But like that's it. It's not like
Yeah.
anything happens.
No.
It's great. It's just creepy.
It's kinda cool. Yeah. Okay, should we jump into the story?
Yeah. So
Go ahead.
you go.
No, go.
I was just going to say the only note that I have this is the only other note that I have. I just thought it was funny. The priest guy comes over and is talking about how the demon feeds off of negative energy. And so the more negative energy, the worse it's going to get. And the boyfriend turns to her and is like, well, we shouldn't allow your mother over anymore.
Oh, yeah. That was funny.
And I was like, okay, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I like the story.
Yeah.
I like that she's being haunted and not like the house. I like that they're trying to like catch it on camera. There are some things that I think are dumb,
Yep.
obviously, but
The boyfriend.
overall, I like it because it's pretty simple.
It's very simple.
You know, there's not a ton going. You look at movies like The Conjuring, which is great, but it's like there's a lot going on.
There's a lot going
There's
on.
a whole story and a whole background and all this stuff, and this one has some background, right? But and I like when he finds the picture in the attic and all the little details, but it's not complicated.
No, it's not.
You know,
The two things that bothered me was Mika, I thought was just the worst, like over the top worst. Like if you were actually with a girl, you moved in together, I understand that she might not have told him about everything, but like he knows that she's terrified of this and that it scares her, and he just sits there and just like, ooh, come on, demon, come after me, after she's told him like 8 times not to. He goes and buys the Ouija board after she asks him to not to, and like it's just kind of like, all right, dude, you're like, why are you with him? Like, he's a freaking jerk. Like, over the top.
Yeah, it's sad because it's bad character writing in order to further the plot, which is inherently
I feel like
lazy.
they could have done it a little bit better.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So, and then the priest guy, when he comes the second time,
It's so dumb.
it's so dumb. Oh, I can't be here right now. I have to go.
Yeah, like
I'm
why did he even go over in the first place? Because he
what was
went
the
over the
point?
first time. He's like, actually, I can actually tell that it doesn't want me here anyway. I'll get the demonologist instead of I'm just a ghost guy. I'll get the demon guy to come over. And then they call him and he comes back. He's like, hey, wait, I probably shouldn't be here anyway. I think I already told you that maybe anyway. So actually, see ya. It's
I
like,
know. I was just like,
wait, what?
okay.
But it's probably just like her uncle that wanted like more screen time,
Probably.
But so yeah, that was dumb. And then I do just very, very much hate the trope of not turning on any lights.
The lights.
When you're scared, which we will talk about next week in our other episode. But yeah. So it's tough. It's not bad though.
No.
I would say it's a good, simple story with some issues.
Yeah. Mine, it's like, it's a pretty average story that's perfect for the movie, for the average movie, with some things that I thought were a little dumb. So like, to me, this is like a 145, where it's like just below average, just below, because there's just a couple things they could have fixed, but it's not like the most crazy story of all time, but it doesn't need to be. It's just it's good. It's good. It's good for the movie.
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 129.
Okay.
Which is still okay. It's just that like anybody on earth could have written this.
Yeah.
There's nothing, as far as story goes, there truly really is not anything clever. You know what I mean?
No.
It's good though, right? It was written out well, like good enough to serve the purpose of what the movie is, right?
Yeah.
Like if you just want to do a found footage movie, you want a pretty simple plot, or you end up like Cloverfield that doesn't explain anything and is too shaky, right? But yeah, so it's like it's good, but I could have written this, and I'm a terrible writer. So,
Oh yeah.
Anyway.
I mean,
yeah,
it's still better than the Joker.
it is. That's true. It went
Joker
somewhere.
2,
It started.
least.
It started in one place and it ended in a different place further along in the plot.
And it didn't recap a different movie.
Yeah. So, I mean, props. Props. All right, let's talk about the acting. Which
Okay.
for me is maybe the lowest
Yeah.
part of this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It's not terrible, but it's $15,000 good. Actually, you know
Yeah,
what? For a $15,000 movie, I think they got $1 million movie acting.
I
Not
wouldn't go
$1 million
that high.
per person or anything, but a $1 million movie, they got that caliber of acting.
Yeah. I'd say more of like a $100,000
Okay,
movie
fair.
acting.
I'm just saying I've seen much more expensive movies than this with a way worse acting.
Oh, yeah, of course.
So there's really
So it was
are there,
fine.
Are there only 3? No. Let's see. There are maybe 5 total people who have speaking parts who are even shown. Maybe
Is there
4.
5?
There's
Yeah. The sister
boyfriend,
or friend
girlfriend, friend, and ghost dude.
and the priest.
So 4.
It's just 4.
Yeah. Okay. So just 4. So in my order would be girlfriend was the best.
Mm-hmm.
Then probably friend, but she only had one line.
Yeah,
And then
it's just very
boyfriend,
quick.
and then priest. Not priest. He's
Yeah.
not priest. He's a ghost hunter. It's different.
He's a ghost hunter. Yeah, I just think of priest.
So
This to me is like it's like a 60. I mean, it
yeah, that's
it's
fair.
not the worst. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen, but it's not great.
No. Yeah, and
it's
truly,
not-
I am
it's not
not
a 5 out of
exaggerating. Yeah, I am not exaggerating when I say that like the acting being bad at some points really truly saved me.
Yeah,
There was some part, I can't remember what it was, and it was supposed to be real scary. And I was like about to get scared, and then they started talking and or having an argument or something, and I was like, "Oh, thank goodness, this is all fake." You know?
this isn't real. I know it's not real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? For Halloween's sake, I'm gonna give it a 66.
Nice.
I got to, you know. I did think that she did very good at screaming, but
She did.
other than that, really, there was not a good highlight. And screaming is not the most impressive acting thing you can do.
It's not, but she did some pretty impressive screams.
Yeah, for sure. So props to her.
She's the 100 out of 200.
Yeah.
She's the 5 out of 10, and then it's like 4, 3, 2.
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so let's talk about the sound because this is a
Yeah.
scoreless movie.
Yeah.
What do you think?
To me, you take the sounds out, and a lot of this isn't scary anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're very basic sounds, but they were done very well, I honestly thought.
Yeah.
The thumping, the kind of humming noise whenever the demon was around. It reminds me a lot of, did you ever play Slender Man?
I've seen a person play Slender Man. So I know what it looks like.
Very basic sounds to that game, but that's the reason why that game's so terrifying.
Yeah.
Is because the sounds are so good. Like,
Yeah.
so good. How they do it, how it all comes together, stuff like that. So I thought, like, overall the sounds were great. I didn't really have problems with them.
Yeah. I didn't either. I liked too the when they'd throw like a little voice into the recordings. Like a couple different recordings where you could kind of tell somebody was saying something.
Yeah.
But that was done well. So I think they did everything really well. It's like it's not super standout, oh my gosh, crazy.
No.
And obviously no
revolutionary
music.
in
So
any
it's like
way.
we're just ignoring that completely because you can't have music in this.
Yeah.
There are like a couple of songs that they were playing in their house, but that's kind of it. So
Yeah. He played the guitar for like 5
Yeah.
seconds.
Yeah.
And it was pretty bad.
yeah. I would probably give it maybe 170.
Okay.
You know, like they accomplished their goal, but I'm not like blown away.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Honestly, 170 is great. I
Cool.
think that's a great score.
Great.
Just
Okay.
above average.
So the vibe.
Yeah.
This is where here's the thing. I think this, for me, scores kind of high. We're not talking 199 or 200.
Oh, no.
We're not up there. But it's not low because I had fun and I was
yeah.
scared,
Yeah.
right? Like, but it was like a fun scared. Once I kind of realized that maybe I'm not going to see anything crazy, although, I mean, there was always the chance. Once I realized, like, oh, none of this is going to, like, haunt me when I blink, then I was kind of able to have a little bit more fun being scared, which I liked, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I can handle some of the demon movie stuff, but, like, when there's, like, really, truly terrifying imagery sometimes, I'm just like, oh, no, I'm never going to be able to close my eyes again, you know? So I'm glad that it wasn't that until maybe the last scene, which I did go back and watch, and I was like broad daylight on a phone, so it wasn't quite as scary. I'd give it a 181.
Okay, I was going to do 185.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great. I mean, it's just a fun time.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's you watch it once every like 10 years.
Yeah. And the reason I think this works is because of the budget and because of the type of movie it is, it does kind of feel like you're just watching, it almost feels like you're watching like a good YouTube video, like a long form YouTube video. It's like, oh, look at what these people made instead of, oh, this studio just spent $200 million on this movie. It's booty cheeks. It's no good. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
You can give it so many passes because it's just like this. It feels like just this little project that was like, whoa, this is better. Because I think truly this movie is way better than $15,000, which the box office proves, right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
But I think we're so used to, especially nowadays, seeing $100, $200, $300, $400 million movies that are like not very good.
Right, right.
So it's cool to see something that's so cheap that is good. Even if it's not great, it's kind of like, you know what it is? This is a Costco pizza. It's like not the best pizza in the world, but you get an 18-inch pizza for $10.
Yeah.
That's a steal, right?
This is the $1.50 hot dog combo.
Exactly. Whereas if you go to some super fancy restaurant, you get like their gourmet whatever pizza, it's $38 and it's like 8 inches and it's like not very good. That's what some of the big studios give you sometimes. And this is the Costco pizza. It's reliable. It's not the best thing ever, but it's kind of yummy and it's cheap and it's easy, you know?
Yep. This is the Costco pizza, and then Secret Invasion is the hot trash garbage super expensive pizza.
Yes. 100%, dude. So,
this looks way better than Secret Invasion.
Oh, yeah. So, big shout out. I mean, Costco, shout out. Paranormal Activity, shout out.
Yeah.
Congrats to you both.
Yeah.
So, not bad. Okay. What do you think you gave it?
Ooh, what did I give it? I think I gave it 801.
I'm going to say I gave it a 714. Is 801? Let's see. You gave it a 757.
Oh, okay.
And I gave it a 745.
Oh, okay.
So very similar.
Cool.
As some people say, similar numbers.
Similar.
Okay, well, I mean, here's the thing, guys. That's a pretty short movie. So this is a short episode.
Yeah.
So should we talk about the box office? We both know it, so we're not going to do any guess. Well, unless you've forgotten.
It's like, was it 193 or something like that?
Yeah. Let me just double check, but it's a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's see. Box office 194.
Okay.
You missed it by that much.
I missed it by that much.
I mean, yeah, and a lot of people say this is the biggest box office success ever.
Yeah.
And I would imagine that it is.
Yeah.
What did Napoleon Dynamite do? Napoleon Dynamite
Oh,
did
crap.
46 million versus a $100,000 or a $400,000 budget. You remember?
Napoleon Dynamite.
But either way, I mean, those are two movies that
400,000.
400,000. So less of a success. But I mean, Napoleon Dynamite still, that's a huge success. They basically made $46 million, 45 and a half.
Yeah.
Whereas Paranormal Activity, I mean, geez, 194 after a $215,000 budget all in is insane.
Is insane. Yeah.
That
the
is
marketing was
as-
great. I don't know if you remember the trailers for this movie.
You know, so this came out in 2007, right?
Yeah.
I would vaguely remember it. I was 11, you know.
Basically, it was just people in theaters, and they recorded people in the theater screens, and it was just them jumping to different parts of the movie. That was like basically
That's so
it.
fun.
It was so fun, and it was just like, oh, everybody's freaking out. I want to go
Yeah.
see this, and then it just kind of became that thing where it was like, oh man, let's go get a bunch of buddies and let's go see this movie, you know, because it was just kind of like it just kind of took over by storm, and just everyone was like, whoa, I want to go see this, and it was just a huge success.
Yeah.
Very deserving. It's a great movie.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I totally agree.
something new, something original in terms
Mm-hmm.
of how you did things. Obviously, the story wasn't anything original and the tropes are there, but well done.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well, everybody, because it's spooky season, because it's Reactober, we're going to give you guys some bonus episodes. So
Yeah.
instead of having to wait till next Friday for another episode, Monday, there will be a bonus episode, which will be The Babadook.
Yes.
If you have not seen The Babadook, I recommend watching it. Spoilers. Sorry, not spoilers for the movie. Spoilers for what I think. I recommend watching it. What I would do before you watch it, well, this is tricky. You choose before or after you watch it, before you make up your mind about how much you like it. Google what. Am I spoiling anything? No. Google what does the Babadook mean? And that will help you. That'll help you with the movie. And I'll break all of that down in our episode.
Whoa, okay.
Do you not know about this?
No.
Oh my goodness, Craig. You guys, it's going to be
What?
a great episode then. This is going to be a
Oh,
really,
this is
really good
gonna be great.
episode. So, okay.
I 100% recommend it. I love that movie. It's on Netflix.
Yeah. So
And just go. It's an indie movie. Mm-hmm. And I say that Paranormal Activity is technically an indie movie too, but this feels like Babadook feels like an indie movie, like
Yeah.
where it's a little weird, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's filmed a little differently in some ways, and just some of the things they have in it are just not what you typically see from like a big studio or a really low budget movie. Mm-hmm. It's kind of that in between weirdness, I would say. So go
Yeah.
into it kind of knowing that, not sure what to expect, but open-minded type of thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And then, well, I mean, that's kind of it, right?
yeah.
Do you have anything else to say?
No.
Okay.
It's on
Well,
Max. Go watch it.
yeah.
It's fun.
Thank you, everybody, for listening to today's episode of Riptides Entering All Caves. Taking iffy opportunities. Nowhere tinkles in morbid entrances.
Ooh.
Spooky.
No tinkles and morbid entrances.
No.
Spooky.
Spooky. That is spooky season, everybody. Oh, okay. See you on Monday.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.